Good evening. Thank you to the Barack Obama Democratic Club for giving us this opportunity to appear before you to speak about our qualifications. So I am running for the Surrogates Court, which is the court that deals with wills, states, guardianships, and adoptions. First, I want to tell you very briefly about me and my background, and then I want to tell you about why I believe I'm qualified for this position. About me, I was born and raised in the Dominican Republic. I came to this country at the age of 22 to pursue graduate studies. My proficiency in English was limited at the time, but I was determined. I got myself a scholarship, and I came here and did it on my own. After I did that, I decided to come to New York City. I wanted to have the experience of living in New York City. I came to Washington Heights, of course, and I lived on Broadway and 172nd Street. What I found here when I came was a community in crisis. That was the 80s. I saw a community whose members were facing challenges. And what those challenges had in common was that they had a legal component to them. It could be housing, immigration, criminal justice. I thought that if I went to law school, I could get skills to help my community. And that's what I did. I chose a public interest law school. I've done public interest all my life because that's how I see the law, as an opportunity for change, as a tool for empowerment, and as a tool to help people. And that's exactly what I'm doing today. That perception of the law as that opportunity for empowerment and change is what's driving me to run for this position. Very briefly about my qualifications. I've been a judge now for more than 5 years, and I actually worked in the Surrogates Court in Brooklyn. So I also have the experience of knowing this area of the law. Because I know it, I know what it takes to be a good surrogate. And I believe that there are three characteristics that actually a good surrogate should have. And I believe that I have been able to develop those three characteristics through my experience and my background. The first one is to be a knowledgeable judge. The second one is to be a good administrator of the court. And the third one is to have the energy and the commitment to improve the court. Very briefly, knowledgeable judge part, I know the law of this area because I've worked on it, but also because I fell in love with it. It's a very interesting area of the law, and I have continued to study it. And it's very important to have the knowledge because this court is extremely specific in what it does, and it's very unique court. It's like no other court. So it's important to have that experience. In terms of the administrative experience, this court, actually the surrogate is the administrator of the court. It is like the chief judge of the court. And because of that, you need to have the experience to run the court. Now, I do have that experience. Why? Because when I worked in the Brooklyn Surrogates Court, I worked there at a time right after the former surrogate had been removed because of improprieties. What I learned then was how to establish systems of accountability and oversight to make the court more accountable and more transparent and more efficient. And I bring that experience with me, which is extremely relevant. Finally, I have the energy and I have the commitment because I care about this court. I have proposals that I'm bringing with me. I'm just going to discuss very briefly two of them. Very briefly, one of them is to diversify the pool of attorneys that are eligible for assignment on this court. It is a very, very homogeneous court, unfortunately, in terms of the lawyers that appear before it. I think it is important to bring new blood into this. And we can have courses to train lawyers so that they become eligible to be appointed as lawyers and guardian ad litem. Finally, another project that I've been discussing is the possibility and the actual reality of creating a branch of the court in Upper Manhattan or Harlem. That way, we would increase access to this court for so many people who feel that it's such a removed institution, such an elitist institution. Thank you very much. I ask you for your support. I do have the energy, the commitment, and I do have the determination to do it. Thank you.